Hello and welcome back to the Gate series. Today we are looking at the Gate 19. The Gate 19 is located in the root center, and this gate is in the channel of synthesis. It is called the Gate of Wanting. This is also known in the gene keys as gene key 19, which is the key of sensitivity. And in the Chinese I Ching, this is the 19th hexagram, which is nearing, Nearing. So the gate of wanting is located within the tribal circuitry. Again, that's in the channel of synthesis. And this carries a sort of supporting or supportive energy for the community, because remember, this is tribal energy. It is actually the driving force of revolution, as the harmonic gate is the gate of revolution, gate 49. So gate 19 is biologically about food. So it makes sense that it is closely tied to growth, harvest, and a special quality of attention that the 19th hexagram shows us. So let's look at that a bit closer. The 19th hexagram, nearing, is the energy of approach with the overall spirit of presence during a process of growth, and with taking personal responsibility and careful attention to all the phases of growth, being especially mindful to allow for proper development. The 19th hexagram has a gentle energy of tending and allowance that must be balanced with patience to not force an outcome during the cycles of growth. So I'd like to share with you this shadow of the 19th gene key. The shadow is codependence. So the frequency of codependence looks like us relying on an external source for our well-being. Many of us are intimately familiar with having a codependent dynamic in maybe some of our own relationships currently or in the past. I can definitely raise my hand here, and I have a lot of experience in codependent dynamics. Codependent dynamics can be very sneaky. It may not look like a relationship is codependent on the surface, but examples of this in a more macro way are outsourcing our power to external authorities such as a religion, a god, relationships, etc. So anytime we are reliant upon an external source for our well-being, there is an energy of codependence, and that is the shadow of the 19th gene key. So this shadow can be expressed in two different ways, which are either rooted in fear or anger. The repressive expression of the shadow of codependence is needy. So somebody who is expressing neediness in the shadow, they often garner negative attention. So they will subtly manipulate with guilt, and these people cannot let go of the past, and they really fear being alone. The reactive expression is isolating. So this is rooted in anger, and it is this way of being where you are purposefully isolating yourself, and at the same time you make damn well certain that other people know just how isolating you are, being that you are isolated. And the gift of this 19th gate, the gate of wanting, the key of sensitivity, is about being able to be deeply tuned into the needs of others. But in order to have this experience in the gate 19, you must be independent. So that means out of the shadow of codependence to access the gift of exquisite sensitivity. So upon researching and reading about the 19th gate, I couldn't help but feel an overwhelming resonance with this gate's experience in an ex-partner of mine. And I just wanted to share a little bit about that with you. I feel like his name was written all over it. So this ex was very, very well versed in codependency. And in fact, in our relationship dynamic, it was very codependent. He really felt a deep sense of insecurity, and he acted out both the repressive and the reactive nature, the neediness and isolation. So he would often self-isolate and make sure that his family and everyone knew that he was, alone, that he was just alone. And it was almost like using that subtle manipulation with guilt, and the neediness aspect of this shadow to um, try to make other people feel bad that he was so alone. This ex-partner also definitely had a really challenging time letting go of the past. It really took this person well over a decade to forgive and let go of the ending of his marriage. So I don't know if you all know anybody like that, but they take a long time to move through things if you cannot let go of the past, right? So, but the gift of this, because sometimes this ex-partner that I'm speaking about was accessing the gift frequency of sensitivity, and in that frequency, that sensitivity becomes very, very powerful. And in fact, it can be felt through touch. And I know that there were many times where I was able to pick up on that heightened sensitivity through his hands, and he was able to access subtle energies and communicate that with me. And there's another aspect of this sensitivity, because the sensitivity is being deeply attuned to the needs of others, right? So this cannot be just applied in relationship on one-to-one, but actually in group settings, this gift really thrives. It is invaluable in groups to support and detect the needs of others. And my ex utilized this in his workplace and became sort of a master mediator at his job site. So I would love to leave you with a quote from Richard Rudd. In today's world, people with the 19th gift are likely to use their sensitivity in any field where people are working together in groups. Their ability to unconsciously sense the needs of others means that they are often seen as psychic. However, they can also be very grounded in the reality of the needs of the material plane. For example, they can use their heightened sensitivity to bring balance to the spheres of money, work, and relationships. In fact, their very presence brings focus to these kinds of issues.